while we know that the gospel brings great relief, we also know we're not the one ultimately in charge of working faith in another person. I think that that's scary because I personally, I don't want to proclaim the gospel unless I know it's going to be received well.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a potential that it's not going to be received well. Has that been your experience? What has your experience been like with that, especially in a context like New York City, where
Yeah.
there's
And in
not
the
a lot
mainline church where everybody's
in
like,
the
oh,
mainline
well, yeah,
church?
like, well, I don't want to talk about atonement. That's so,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
talk about Christus Victoris all the time. And so,
yeah,
or the exemplar theory. And um, yes, I used to fall into all sorts of like fears and insecurities about this as well. And that was because I thought the onus was on me. And then
yeah.
I went to a fundraising dinner one time here in the city, and it was for like orphanages in the Caribbean. It's this thing called the mustard seed, and the speaker of the day, the person who was being honored, was the Jamaican ambassador to the United States, and she was speaking. And I guess all the expat Jamaicans hated the current prime minister of Jamaica, so they were there. And it was like this time they were supposed to be honoring and raising money for her, but they kept firing all these questions about what's the prime, and she was like, the prime minister says this, the prime minister says that. And this one guy finally got up and he was like, Madam, we don't care what the prime minister thinks. We want to know what you think. And she was like, oh,
Hmm.
I'm so sorry. My job isn't to tell you what I think. My job is to give you the message of the prime minister. And I remember I like literally spit out my rum cake because I was so blown away by that answer. I was like, are you kidding? That is amazing. And I am
Yeah.
not here to tell you my opinion. I am here to tell you the message of my king because I'm an ambassador for Christ. And
Hmm.
my message to you is the war has lost. The war is over and you lost. And now as a result of that loss, you get to reap the victory of our king, which is all of his grace, all of his mercy, and all of his love to you. Well, I don't
Hmm.
believe that. Well, that doesn't matter. I mean,
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is that the terms have been set and they've been signed in blood and it's done. And you are a son of God. You are a bride of Christ. So, as Stephen Paulson once said, you might as well shave your leg and put on some lipstick because he's called you his bride. And, but if you do that enough, the word begins to work on people. And that
Hmm.
authority, touched by the Holy Spirit, people can't escape it. And they'll either stop talking to you or all of a sudden they'll be wanting to get baptized.